What's going on, guys? This is Justin, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to set up your car ad on Craigslist to help generate more calls. Not just more calls from spam, but also from actual humans. And this is going to, in turn, help you sell your car closer to the price that you want and also in a more timely manner because you're just going to be having a lot more options. So I've been selling cars on Craigslist for the last 5 years, and I will talk about and also show you the progression of how my ads have improved, and we'll talk about what has not and ultimately what has worked.
Okay, so we are going to go through a couple of ads that I have previously put up for cars that I had sold, and I will talk about what's worked and what's not worked, and you'll get to see the progression of how the ad itself has improved. And you can model yours after mine because it has worked and it's worked very successfully. So, first things first, whenever you're going to sell a car, you need to make sure that your car is clean, and I will explain that in even more detail using one of my ads as an example. But make sure that your car is clean on the outside and the inside. So, this first ad here, 1997 BMW. This is the first car that I had sold on Craigslist. We're going to go through the pictures real quick. This is a good picture because this picture was taken outside. And what you're going to find is you want all of your pictures to be taken outside. They come out much, much nicer, and you're not cramped because you can stand back and take the full picture of the car. As we see right here, all these pictures were taken inside my garage. And the ones that are taken of the interior came out okay. But the ones that are taken of the exterior, I'm not really a big fan of these. These are kind of cramped. You're not getting to see the full car. There's a lot of glare and stuff. And you don't want to be taking these pictures on the inside. I'll never take pictures of my car if I'm going to sell it from inside a confined space again. We go down to the content, and here are two big paragraphs. This is an excessive amount of content because people are sifting through, and not many people are going to take the time to sit and read a number of ads that have this much writing in it. They want to just read the necessary information, the raw bullet points, and move on from it, be able to make decisions from it. And so you want to keep things crisp and concise. This ad had been up for 2.5 months, and I really didn't even get that many calls about it. I got a ton of spam about it, but very few humans actually calling me. And I had attributed that to there being too much text to read and nobody really reading it. So I revised it, and here is the revised version of that ad. Same pictures, except the text is, I basically trimmed the fat off of it, and I'm just providing the necessary information. We have the specs up here. For each of your ads that you put up, these are good things to put on. The engine size, is it automatic or manual transmission? How many miles are on it? It's also good to rate the interior and exterior. This is the way that I do it. I've seen a few other people do it like this. I've seen people just put the color of the interior and the exterior, but you should definitely put something about it. And then if you have any additional features on the car, I list it right below it, and I think it's very good to call those out. In this second break, I am calling out certain issues that are there with the car, and I think that's also necessary because no one likes to be told that there's no issues with a product, and then they go to see it or use it, and they find out that there are several issues or a few issues with it. It's much better to know the truth about it and to know what you're getting into than to think that there's nothing wrong and to be surprised. So I like to call out any sort of issues that are there. And this version of the ad was up for 5 days, and then the car was sold. And I got a number of calls on it, and I figured that the reason for the high volume of calls was that because people were reading this because this is a lot easier to read. This list is a lot easier to read than those two paragraphs. Next example, this Maxima. This is about, I had sold about another 4 cars until I got to this one. So as you can see here, all these pictures are taken from outside. The timing of these are not that good. I should have taken these in the daytime than like evening. The inside of these of the car, these pictures are very good, very clean. I'm even showing the engine here. You should take pictures of the engine of your car as well. People appreciate that. Here I'm taking a picture of a slight dent on the car, and again, if there are, this to me is pretty significant. If there are dents of this size, scratches of this size, tears on your seats of a pretty substantial size that you would want to know about, other people would also want to know about it, and so you'll gain a lot more credibility if you show these. Then I scroll down to the text, same thing, straight, just a list, bullet point of the vital information that someone would want to know. This people will read this, and this car was sold in 1 week. Go to the next example. 2000 Honda Accord. The pictures here are much better than the previous examples that I've shown. Well, this is me trying to show a dent on the car. You can't really see it that well because the sun is kind of there. Again, you want to make sure you take all these body shots, the sides, the front angles from both sides, the back angles from both sides, the front and the back, just so that the viewer can see the entire car. Here, you want to make sure you take this shot, the 2 front seats, the back seats, and the front console. I've also found that taking pictures of your tires, if they're in good condition, are very good. Same type of content structure. There's just a bit more lines here because there was just some more things going on with the car, so I just called them all out. Even called out some work that had been done to the car. I replaced the brakes, rotors, put in a new head unit, and figured it would be good to call that stuff out. It'll help me. And so this car was up for 5 days, and I got a lot of calls on it because it's it's a Honda Accord. It's a low price, but very few people actually came by to see it. Now remember, we talked about cleanliness earlier. That is an extremely important thing. It's the first thing that you should do if you're going to put up an ad. Make sure that you clean your car first. And so here, a friend of mine told me that when she looked at this ad, she thought the car looked dirty. And then I looked at it again and I agreed. It definitely, especially in these pictures, it looks dirty. So I went and got the car washed, and in this version of the ad, it's the exact same pictures, just a clean car. And this car looks like it's been taken care of. This version of the ad was up for 2 days, and then the car was sold. Got a number of people to come by and look at it, and I think that clearly states the importance of having a clean car. And just one more example of an ad that I saw this morning. This is a great one to model your ad after. This shows all the different views that I talked about. The front, the back, both sides of the car, the front angles and the back angles. That's a total of 8 pictures. Right here, you can see them all. Front, one side, the back angles, the other side, the back. They're showing a tire too because their tire has good tread on it. They took their inside shots a little bit different than mine, but they took a number of them, so they're still capturing the entirety of the inside. Here's the console, sunroof. Very good ad right here. This content structure was literally the exact same as the one that I had used, just listing out the crucial pieces of information: engine size, transmission, mileage, interior, exterior, any sort of features, and if they had done any sort of maintenance work, it would be very good to call that out here as well.
Alright guys, so I hope that you enjoyed that video. Hope that you found some value in it. Again, this video is intended to help generate more calls. You're going to have to acquire the skills and close the sales. Maybe I'll make another video that talks about how to do that. So please leave any comments below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.